Okay, we're going to answer a few of the most common questions we get asked here at Slightly Screen Fencing, and we're going to use our little demonstration setup here, which is our imitation rendered wall. So probably the most common question we get asked is, do we or can we build made to measure panels, bespoke options? And the answer to that is yes. In fact, it's quite common for us to do that. What we'll do is we'll show you using this section here of how to measure your area. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure this longer back section and then this shorter section, and we're going to show you how to come up with the measurements that you'd provide us, and therefore we can build the panels to suit. So first thing we're going to do, get our tape measure, and we're going to measure from that far corner there, and we're going to come out to there and measure to the end of that post, which
1957.
So that's 1957. And then what we're going to do is we're going to measure from the corner and then out again to that outer section.
1024.
1024. So what we've done is, these are the tools that you'd need. There's nothing special for this project. Literally, we've made a note of our panels, panel sizes here. We need a drill to pre-drill a pilot hole into the vertical piece to stop splitting. We've got here an impact driver or an electric screwdriver, or if you haven't got that, just a normal screwdriver, and the screws. Okay, and then what you do is you would provide us in this instance, for example, you'd provide us the measurement along that back edge, which, as Andrew said, is 1957 millimeters in length, and the height of this panel is going to be 1200 in height. And then for this smaller section measures 1024 millimeters. Now what we've got to allow for is the thickness of the panel that's going to be along that rear section. So the thickness of our panels is 34 millimeters. Okay, so we take our 1024, we deduct 34 millimeters, and that gives us an overall of 990. And this is what we would have built your panels at. So you can see here that we're measuring this panel there. This is what we've built previously based on these measurements. We've got 990 for our small section, which is that distance less the 34 mil for the corner. And then we've got our larger section, which is the full length of that run, which is 1957. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to fit a modular panel. A modular panel is just that, a panel that comes above 900 millimeters. We build in small and modular sections. So in this case, this is a 1200 mil panel overall. But what we've done is we've brought that down into easy to fit, easy to install modular sections. So you can see here what we're doing is we're just lining that up to our post, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to pre-drill, and then once we've pre-drilled we're just going to put a couple of screws in there. And on this occasion we are using our stainless steel T15s, and then we'll pre-drill again. And you can see Andrew is just literally pre-drilling and then going along and putting in. And what we've used is a very discreet stainless steel screw. It's very hard to see, so when you're looking at the panel there's no visible nails or screws on show. So that's that. And then we've got our smaller piece, so we're just going to put that in and we're going to line that up. So you can see here all we're doing is we're putting that in place, we're pushing it up against the other panel so the two corners meet. And then what Andrew's going to do is, once he comes to pre-drill, he's just going to line this top edge up just to make sure that them slats line up. Okay. Okay, so we're just going through that vertical piece, and then we're using a stainless steel screw, and we're lining up. And you can see how quick these are going together. Okay. And then we're on the back edge here. So you'll notice that when we are fitting these, you've got a top and a bottom of the panel. So the top of the panel is always flush, and then the bottom of the panel, the little vertical piece on the rear, or what we nickname the tail, that overhangs slightly. That's the bottom of your panel. Okay, and the reason we have that is when you put your next modular piece on top, which Andrew's going to show you now, that just rests on top of that like this, and you'll see that it's going to line that up, and that simply rests on top. So you can see here that the overhang there, that takes into consideration the gap size. So once that just simply rests on top of the panel and we stand back, you can see that very cleverly that is already taken care of. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to slide this module so it's in line with the one on the bottom. So you can see Andrew's just sliding that over and checking that's in line, and then he's going to pre-drill and literally put a screw in there. And you can see that doesn't look like two separate pieces. You can see already it's not even fitted properly, but that looks like one full panel. Andrew's just going to pre-drill and then run along with that. So, okay, and do that. Screw that up now. And you can see how quick this has gone together. And then with this being a corner panel, or where one panel is coming off at an angle, the only thing we need to consider is this capping strip along the top. So this capping strip here, we just need to trim up this corner piece here, and that is just to allow that panel to sit flush. So if you watch, when we line this up, that would butt up against it. We would scribe that with a pencil, and we just cut that little notch out. If I just pull this panel away, you can see we've just trimmed a little notch out, and then that allows this to slide into position and allows this capping piece, and that gives us a nice snug finish against the slats. So when we stand back, we don't have that gap. And again, you can see where, I'll just spin this round, you can see there where the two panels, when they join together, the little overhang there, our tail, that just literally rests. And you can see, because these have already been pre-made to your desired size, there's no trimming involved. So as much as this is a not off-the-shelf size, you know, this would come out of the same materials as a 2100 wide panel, this back section, and this one obviously is a funny size at being under a metre. You can see the installation is very quick and easy because we've done the cutting, we've done the building for you, and being a pre-made panel, as I mentioned, there's no visible screws or nails on show. You can see how quick this is in comparison to using individual slats. Individual slats are, you know, still very straightforward and easy to install, but obviously this is very, you know, much shorter time span. You can see there, if I stand back, that imitates a small low-level rendered wall or a garden wall, and we've just built that very awkward corner shape size. And you can imagine that once it's planted up, which I will put some finished pictures on when we're done, that looks incredible. And that's our little display area showing, yes, we build made to measure and bespoke options. it shows how modular panels are installed. This is Western red cedar on this demonstration. You can see that that is an absolutely amazing timber. This type of timber could be left out and it can just be left to weather, and it will go a silver driftwood colour over time with the sun and the weather, or you can choose to apply a clear UV protection oil, and that will darken and enhance the timber and help prevent the sun from fading. Okay, that's everything from this little demonstration. If you have any pricing inquiries, if you'd like us to price up a bespoke option for yourself, please drop us an email with your sizes and we'll be happy to price that up for you. Thank you.